Let me ask you, what really makes a good doctor? If you're not happy, how are you supposed to help your patients?
What's going on, guys? Dr. Jabal, MedSchoolInsiders.com. I'm currently out here in Saigon, that's Ho Chi Minh City, Vietnam, and I'm having a blast. The trip so far has been quite epic. If you want to follow along, make sure you're following me on Instagram at KevinJabalMD. Now, it wasn't really until this trip that I fully understood how important and how powerful social media is. If you saw my recent video with Doc Aura, then you know what I'm talking about. Now, I had the pleasure of having an excellent conversation with Jay Feldman. He is huge on Instagram, so if you haven't already checked him out, make sure you do. And he's also a fourth-year osteopathic medical student in New York City, currently applying to family medicine residency. So without further ado, here is Jay Feldman.
How's it going, guys? My name is Jay Feldman. I'm a fourth-year medical student here in New York City at Touro College of Osteopathic Medicine. I grew up in South Florida, lived in Parkland, and I did my undergraduate at University of Florida. There I studied biological science, played professional volleyball, and then I moved up here, and I'm about to match, and I'm hoping I match, and I'm doing a family medicine specialty.
Super exciting time. First off, congratulations. Now that you are wrapping up medical school and you're looking back, how has the reality of med school actually differed from your expectations?
Oh man, alright, so my expectations of medical school versus the reality. So I was in Florida, University of Florida, and I got my acceptance letter. I actually got accepted on the spot at Touro. I was in my interview, and they offered me the position while I was there. The enrollment as a student. But once that happens, you're just committed. I mean, your expectations from your family and friends, everyone knows, and then that's what you're doing. That's your new life. Your new life is medicine, it's medical school. So you just uproot. I packed up all my stuff from University of Florida, moved it to New York, didn't know anybody, and really just started on a grueling 2 years of being broke, depressed. I mean, if you're not depressed your first 2 years of medical school, there's something wrong with you. It's grueling. It's harder than anyone can actually put into words. People tell you how hard medical school is. You have no idea. Absolutely no idea. So, when you're thinking about going to medical school and you're basing your decisions off of your parents' beliefs, and you're basing your decisions off of what you've seen on TV, Grey's Anatomy, Scrubs, The Resident, all these shows now, it's not glamorous. None of it is glamorous. You see cool things, yeah, but that's the vast minority of what you're doing. The reality of medicine is you're basically a slave. You're working your ass off. You're studying your ass off every single day. When you're a third and fourth year and you're actually seeing patients, you're getting to the hospital sometimes at 5 a.m. every day, not getting out until 8. And the whole time you're there, you're just eating crap from your seniors, and it's not fun. And people really, there's a lot of depression that happens for this reason. It looks glamorous. People get into it. Yeah, money, prestige, but it's not like that at all. Granted, I love what I'm learning. I love what I'm seeing. I've seen some incredible things that I wouldn't trade the world for. But since I started medical school, I've lost all of my best friends from high school. No one understands what you're going through except your classmates. So it's just an inevitable reality that the people you were once close with in college are not going to be the people you're close with anymore. You're just you're signing up for a lot of years of struggle, of being broke, of working your ass off harder than you can ever imagine working. But it's rewarding in a lot of ways.
You have a large Instagram following, and the life of a med student seems great. You're smiling, you're rocking the white coat, the stethoscope, and you just seem to be having an awesome time. Is this really what medical school is like for you?
So no and yes in a lot of ways. So I know everything that I post is, smiling in my white coat and my scrubs and my stethoscope, like being a doctor is awesome, I love what I do. And that's true in a lot of ways, but I also think I'm contributing to a major problem. And that's portraying only the positive sides of what we go through as medical students. And me personally, I'm a serial optimist. I mean, you could put a plunger in my hand and I would probably be posting on social media about how awesome it is to be a plumber. But, medicine's really not like that for everyone. I am I would say 1% of people that are in medical school in terms of finding life balance and finding happiness there. So no, it's not all smiles and white coats. There's a lot of people, and including myself, I go through hard times too, but nobody posts the hard times on social media. And even when I did one time, all my friends are like, man, you can't do that. Like, people are looking to you for inspiration, for smiles. And I agree with them and I disagree with them. I think people should see the hard times. But for now, I'm just gonna, right now I'm in a very optimistic place. I love what I do. I found a way to make it work for me in a way that keeps me happy, keeps me motivated, and makes me love medicine. But a lot of people can't say the same. For every doctor on social media you see with their white coat smiling and their stethoscope, there's 100 other ones that are not so happy. And I think it's creating a pretty big public perception problem that, being a doctor is this glamorous, fun thing, and everyone is happy and having fun, and that's simply not true.
Great point. Great point. Now, this is clearly a huge issue in medicine. Do you have any advice for aspiring future doctors, for the pre-meds out there?
So I would love to be able to sit down with the freshman and sophomore in college who are thinking about going pre-med or just at the beginning of their stage and see if this is really a road that's right for them. Because once you really start on this path, it's really hard to get off. My biggest piece of advice would be just understand what you're signing up for. As soon as you start really getting deep into your pre-med classes, you're in Orgo 2, Physics 2, you start telling all your friends and family that you're gonna be a doctor. Putting it out into the world like that is really kind of committing yourself into this life. And the deeper you get, the harder it is to get out. And I want to get across the message that if you're not 100% sure, if you haven't shadowed doctors, talk to them, listen to them about what their life is actually like, do they recommend it for you? If you're not 100% sure, then really sit down and think about this, because it's not your parents or your friends that are gonna have to go through this and live this life for their entire life, it's you. So I really think that you should take a deep look, because once you actually get accepted to medical school, congratulations, but now you have to take on all this debt. You take on all of this debt, and if you don't end up scoring high enough to be the specialty that you always thought you were going to be, and this happens to 90% of medical students, it'll probably happen to you too. Will you be okay being, a primary care doctor or a psychiatrist or a family doctor your whole life? Now, these are all very important questions, because once you start, this is really a commitment for your entire life. Once you have all this debt, I have $400,000 in debt. There's really no escape, and it's this feeling of being trapped that leads a lot of physicians to being depressed and committing suicide.
Now, this is a very complex and multifaceted issue. What do you think are the next steps in terms of us as a community, as medical influencers? What can we do to address this, at least to start making meaningful change?
So I'm glad you asked, and the solution I think is going to be tough, but raising awareness, doing exactly what you're doing right now with the Save Our Doctors campaign, raising money, raising awareness for this specific cause. And I think us as social media influencers and people in media also have a responsibility to not only show the good things, not only show the white coats and smiles and how awesome it is to be a doctor, but also showing the highlight reel of what goes on behind the scenes. How hard it really is, how many hours we actually work. Are you ready to get up at 4 a.m. every day? I mean, I've went through entire months, periods, where it was just like waking up, just shit. But, I think if all the social media influencers and media really band together and change the public perception of medicine by at least highlighting what it's actually like, the work that we actually do, what it's like in the hospital, then I think people might, at an earlier age, really grasp what it really means to be a doctor, and I don't think they're doing that now.
Jay, thank you so much for your time. Really a pleasure talking to you and having you on this channel. Where can people learn more and find you online?
So if you want to connect with me on social media, I'm everywhere. On Instagram, Dr. J. Feldman. That's Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube. You can find me on all of those links at Dr. J. Feldman and drjfeldman.com, which is launching on March 15th as well, when I match. I hope this isn't bad juju. It was great talking to everybody, and I hope to connect with you. If you have any questions, feel free to shoot me a message on any of those social media platforms. Be sure to answer you.